What's up, guys? This is the Board Game Roamer, and I am here with Undertow. And my dog is trying to sleep on the couch, apparently. So it's finally here. We did the unboxing, and I was trying to decide how I wanted to do this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a playthrough with just the Undertow characters, Stanza and Duster. Just do a normal Tyrant encounter, and then I'm going to add in maybe Gasket and try the campaign. That's the current plan. So I've already got the board set up. I'm going to put the loot over here for Stanza and over here for Duster. Off to the side, off the camera where you can't see, I have the various trays with their skill dice and such. Loot, baddies are over here in the top. I've got the crown, mechs, etc. over here, and health over here. Also, because this is my first time playing with these gear locks, I decided to go not with the super easy, not with Greenhorn and not with the just straight up too many bones, but with the other one, so that gives me a health and one additional training point. So I've already chosen, put one health of course in each of these. I just realized I haven't added the fourth one here. I need to add 2 for Nightshade. For now, anyway. And for skills-wise, I've chosen Under the Old Zelfie, which is like a buff and heal for Stanza. And then for Duster, started with the Assassin line and chose Duster's Dagger. So the Tyrant that I chose to do is the Goblin Queen, and I will read you her flavor text. Knowing the cutthroat and mischievous tendencies of her kind, the Goblin Queen forces other creatures to carry out her personal protection. Despite this, she knows the growth of goblin influence is her best chance at a true matriarchy over Daylor. With her husband now dead, she plots within the safety of her southern cave systems. Well, this uses 2 different baddie stacks and is a game length of 2 pips. So we have 9 days and we have to have 6 progress to face her. Okay. So I think I've already created the encounter deck. It's right here. And I have all the special cards, special encounters off to the side if we need them. And I think, as far as I can tell, that's everything. Now, obviously I've read through the rule book. There's a few differences, especially with the crown and the mechs. So, and I have actually played through a 4-player game using Stanza. Well, there were 4 of us, and we played using Stanza, Duster, Gasket, and Tink. So I've been exposed to this, and I actually played all the way through once, but I actually played Gasket and not these 2. So it'll be the first time I'm playing them, and I think because it was the first time these guys had ever played, I'm not, oh, I guess what I'm saying is I've not played them. So we're going to kind of be learning that together, because I didn't really get to pay attention to their skills and how they did things. So, having said that, let's start with our first encounter, called Tools of the Traitor. At last, daylight. It appears that there are others who know about the escape route via the sewer. A lone, frantic Molinar traitor sprints past at a good pace. While the city guards have turned and are now in hot pursuit, this means any remaining cover is blown as well. Escape should be easy enough, but the question is whether to take that poor sap along. She's dropping plenty of loot behind her as she flees, and she should distract the guards enough for an escape. But helping her could pay off with some good fortune down the line. So I have 2 options. This is non-combat. First option, let's give her assistance. It says, while her loot must be left behind, you help her escape to the tree line. She promises to spread word of your kindness to her fellow traders. We don't get anything for it. But we get a special encounter shuffled into the deck. Second option says, meh, haste makes waste. After grabbing a couple of the goods she dropped and making a short sprint, the tree line is in sight. The Molinar trader is quickly apprehended, slowed down by her supplies and by her supplies and cumbersome cloak. Hopefully justice is served. Shuffle special encounter a mountain out of a Molinar hill into an encounter deck. Now, if we take that option, everybody gets trove loot. At the same time, I'm kind of thinking that knowing what the Molinar are like in the original, I don't know that I want to mess with them. So I think we're going to take the first option, which doesn't give us any bonus. But we're going to get a progress point and a training point just for this encounter, because it's considered successful regardless of what choice we choose. So let's find, what's it called? Molinar special encounter, Molinar adventuring reference guide. So let's see here. Yep, there we go. And again, I have actually not looked at these, so I have no clue. It says shuffle special encounter Molinar adventure. So we're gonna put it in here. Put it in here, I guess. Flip these over. That way I can't see them, and I pulled off the standard day 2 encounter. Alright, flipped it back over. So I have 1 progress and 1 training point. So training point wise, let's look at Stanza. So Stanza's thing is songs, right? And some of the songs are kind of like debuffs, some of them are buffs. So the question is, what do I want to upgrade? So let me think about that for 1 training point for both Stanza and Duster, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I decided, I think, I went back and forth. I was really looking at a couple songs for Stanza, but with 3 decks, there's not much room for attack and defense die to roll and maintain songs or move. So I'd have to really be very, like, I could really only do one effectively with a little bit of the other. So I decided just to add a dex, because that way that would give us the option to roll both an attack and defense if we could, and play a song and have 1 to move, and then I'll work my way towards songs. But that gives me a little bit more breathing room. Duster, kind of the same way, with 2 attack and 1 defense. I didn't have a whole lot of options for movement if I needed it. So I decided to go with an extra dex. So that is the first day completed. That's 1 progress out of the 6 we need. So here we go. Second option, second card. So move the day counter to 2. I could put the adventure mat up here, but there's just not a whole lot of room, so decided I would wait. Parting the pirates. The escape went well enough, but making a raft from scratch is too time consuming. With Nobulus's machinations imminent arrival, fortunately a King Gearlock eye spots a shady group of marauders that has already done the work. Known locally as the Scrap Lords for their practice of picking clean those unfortunate city folk who venture too close to the Cibron, this ragtag group of vagrants often patrols the banks near Obendar, looking for its next mark. Today, we've caught them napping. We can take the raft now in broad daylight, or we can wait till nightfall and escape under the cover of darkness. Alright, so we have combat. First option, commit a brazen act of piracy in broad daylight. BQ, baddie points. So in this case, being day 2, that would be 4 points. Gearlocks have surprise. Each Gearlock may draw a loot during their first turn, may be used or kept. No additional anything for that option. That is a land encounter. Second option. Oh, sorry. The flavor text for the first option. For some reason, daylight eases my conscience. Second option is a water encounter. Commit a brazen act of piracy under cover of darkness. the flavor text on these cards is absolutely hilarious, y'all. If you get this on all the loot, trove loot, encounters, pretty much any card you've got, read it because it's absolutely hilarious. The flavor text for the second option is because you're ashamed, and you should be. So the bonus is an additional training point, which kind of makes me think this is what I want to go for. But it says commit a brazen act of piracy under cover of darkness. BQ, baddie points, so it's still 4 points. Gearlocks have surprise, so we're still go at the top, but must start the battle on crown starting position. So basically, we're going to start in the water, so it's going to take us an extra dex to move out of the water. But honestly, given that it's only 4 points, and we get an additional training point out of it, I'm kind of leaning towards that option. Either way, we get a progress, a training point, and everybody gets a loot. So I think that right here. I think we're gonna go with the second option. Yeah, it's an extra dex, but honestly, that's not really that big a deal because it's just on the first turn. And it says must start the battle on crown starting positions. Now, I'm going to assume that we get to choose. So, yeah, I'm going to assume we get to choose. So give me a second to get the active stacks set up and the mat ready, and I'll be right back. Alrighty then, so I've got the baddies set out. We're going to take a quick look at their chips before we roll our initiative die. So in the lane 1, we have a Goblin. It's not easy to see. It's a Goblin Broadcaster. It's a 1 point, 1 health baddie, 1 attack, 1 defense, ranged. Attacks the tiebreaker is weakest. It's got signal 2. And it's in lane 1, so it started down here. In the second lane is a Goblin Dabbler with Mischief 1. He's got 1 attack die, 3 health, 2 initiative, melee, and attacks 2 gearlocks that are closest, weakest. So that's not good. Mischief, we do not like Mischief. And then the last 2 are actually the same, so I'm just going to show you one, but they have a really neat skill that is new, I believe, in Undertow. And that is equipment. This is a Kobold Collector, 3 health, 1 attack, 1 defense. Attacks the 2 weakest, but it's got equipment. So if you take a look, and that was 4, but lane 3 and 4 both have the same thing. So equipment, if I'm looking on the Gearlock sheet here, the Adventure Reference Guide, equipment, we have to roll a D6, and then depending on what they get, they're either going to get an increased HP, an increased attack stat, or their initiative die is going to be increased. So let's roll that and see what we get. A 2. So a 2 is increased HP stat. So we'll do lane 3 and then lane 4. So 1, 2. So lane 3 which is this one, gets it's 2 additional health, so it is actually a 5 health baddie. And then for lane 4, it's going to be this one right here. Oh, okay. They both have health, additional health, so they have 5 health instead of 3, which kind of sucks, but it's not horrible. Okay, so we have to roll for ourselves. And we get, oh man, that is horrendous. 6 and a 4. So we're way at the end. So it's going to go Dabbler, Collector, Stanza, Goblin, Broadcaster, then Duster. So first things first, we have to roll our Lutar die for Stanza. It's a 3, so that's our focus. Put it in our prep area. Also, you can probably tell, I've tried to zoom in a little bit to give you a little bit more battle mat. So hopefully that will help you see. And I really thought about just doing the battle map, but I think it would be beneficial for you to still see the top here and maybe see most of the skills, although you can't see, I know you can't see the very last bottom row of skills right now. At any rate, that's what we're gonna do. So where do we want to position? Now remember, we have to start on the water on a crown starting position, so we have to start in one of these locations, but we can choose where we want to start. Of course, the way it's set up, it doesn't matter where we start. We're gonna have you know what, I just realized that I did this backwards. That should go here. Where we start, we're going to be able to be attacked by this baddie for sure if it stays alive. And we're going to be going at the end. That's the part that really sucks. Let me think about this for a minute, and then I'll let you know what I decide, because this is a tough situation. Okay, so I think this is what I'm gonna go with. Normally, just FYI, normally Duster would be able to start anywhere on the map, but I believe since the encounter says Gearlocks have surprise, oh hey, you know what, it just hit me. We have surprise. So actually, I think I'm going to do this. Yep. So what I'm going to do is, well, they get to go first. Good thing I took that extra dex, huh? So it's going to cost me 2 of that to move out here. And then I might not be able to do a song to begin with. I may just do a regular attack and defense. Anyway, I'm going to start here to try to get rid of this signal. Put Duster here. Although, that's melee. So if I start maybe Duster here, then I can move, because I'm trying to kind of like slow these guys down is basically what I'm trying to do. No, I think I am going to go here. No, I don't want Mischief to proc. One, two. Or I guess I could do it like this. I may do it like this. Because, I mean, I can do a little bit of defense over here, but I would like to get these songs out to get the effect of the songs. And this way Duster can come in, take out this signal, this baddie, and me getting the buffs. It's going to be at least one round before this gets there. This one will be able to attack, but it's just one. And then once I'm onto the raft, I can start really using my decks, especially with Duster. Yeah. Alright, we're going to try that. So, that is going to be our setup. And that is going to be it for this video. Join me in the next video, because this one's, we're about out of time. Join me in the next video where we will take on these baddies on day 2 and hopefully be victorious. I'm the Board Game Roamer. I'm excited about this playthrough. I've been looking forward to Undertow for a long time. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you see anything I did wrong, if you have any strategy suggestions for the fight before I start, then definitely let me know in the comments below. And I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, in the next video. Bye, guys.